Hey there, Kernels, and welcome to an EKU Libraries tutorial about plagiarism. You may hear your professors discussing plagiarism and see plagiarism policies in your syllabus. But what does plagiarism mean? The University of Oxford defines plagiarism as presenting work or ideas from another source as your own, with or without consent of the original author, by incorporating it into your work without full acknowledgement. Plagiarism often occurs unintentionally when you don't realize that you need to cite a source or don't know what exactly is considered plagiarism. So, what's the big deal about plagiarism? Imagine that you created a beautiful, original painting. You spent hours and hours perfecting your masterpiece. And then, when you showed it to the world, someone rushed to make a copy and sold it for a good chunk of money. How would you feel? Plagiarism hurts the original creator of a work because their effort and ideas are being used by someone else without their consent, or sometimes even without their knowledge. The person or persons who did the work should get the credit. Plagiarism also hurts the person who plagiarized. You could face a failing grade or even expulsion from the university. Not only that, when you plagiarize, you are missing out on important opportunities to learn and grow. You are removing your voice from the conversation, and your voice and your ideas deserve to be heard. What are the different types of plagiarism? Plagiarism comes in many forms. Let's examine what actions can be considered plagiarism. Using someone else's work. Did your friend or roommate already complete a class you're currently taking? They may have completed the same assignment and still have a copy of their work. Did you find an essay online that perfectly sums up what you need to say, and it has a handy download button next to it? Resist the temptation to use someone else's work. It is considered plagiarism, even if the person is okay with it. You should always do your own original work. Recycling. Recycling involves turning in a paper or project that you previously turned in for a different class. This is considered plagiarism unless you have explicit permission from your professor. You are expected to produce original work for each class. Sharing. Unless your instructor has given permission for students to work on a paper or project together, working collaboratively and turning in work that others have contributed to can be considered plagiarism. Check with your instructor first and be sure to list the names of everyone who contributed ideas. Cutting and pasting. Say you're writing a paper for your English class and you find a great quote that you want to use. So you copy and paste the quote into your paper, but don't say where the quote came from. This is plagiarism. You need to cite the original source of the quote. Just changing a few words. Paraphrasing is a great way to use information you have found in your research. However, paraphrasing means a lot more than just changing a few words. You need to completely rewrite the information using your own words, and be sure to cite the original source. Remixing. Remixing involves cutting and pasting or paraphrasing content from different sources without adding your own unique thoughts and ideas. The final work ends up being a mashup of other works instead of something you created. Now that we've looked at the types of plagiarism, how can you avoid committing plagiarism? You can take a few steps to help ensure that you are not committing plagiarism, even accidentally. Use your own words and ideas as much as possible. Let your unique and authentic voice come through your work. When you need to use outside sources to lend credibility to your work, make sure that you properly credit those sources. Know when and how to cite. Anytime you use quotes, paraphrase, or use any information that you have learned from another source, you need to cite that source. The only times you don't have to cite are when information is common knowledge, such as George Washington was the first president of the United States, or when you are expressing your opinion, personal experience or viewpoint, or original ideas. Now that you have learned more about plagiarism, continue in the module to reinforce your understanding. If you have questions about plagiarism or need help with any part of the research process, please reach out to EKU Libraries via chat or make an appointment with a librarian. Thanks for watching.